Hello, it's the Sinister Gambino here with a new video. In this video I'm going to be going over the trailer for the Cayo Perico Heist DLC for Grand Theft Auto Online. So starting off, first thing I want to analyze on the image here is at the bottom left with the vehicle, of course. And I believe it looks like this Mesa in the game currently. Except I think it's like a version from Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories. Looks more like the Mesa Grande, I'd say, from those games. Which is basically like a roofless version of it, I'd say. I think currently in the game there's just like the regular Mesa, the Merryweather version, and then there's the military one known as like the Crusader. Which is the very interesting thing about the vehicle, is that there's already a military version known as the Crusader. I think that one's only in like a roofed variant. I don't know if there's like a roofless variant of that. So I don't know if it could be like a roofless Crusader. But yeah, it could also be like a Mesa Grande, or who knows, it might even be like the Mesa Classic. And yeah, if it were like the Mesa Classic, I would see that as being one of the like liveries for the vehicle on the image right now. So I wonder if it's like a militarized livery, and that there will actually be like a regular vehicle for it. Or who knows, maybe there's like two different vehicles of it. It would be a very easy like copy-paste vehicle, and that it could do for like a regular variant of that for sure as well. And then going into the middle of the image, the bottom middle, there's a thing of Atvs. I looked at the Atvs currently in the game and the whole entire GTA series, and I found the body kind of looks closest to the Blazer Aqua currently. So I don't know if that suggests that it might be amphibious. And if there's going to be getaway vehicles for this heist, of course, considering it's an island though, I wouldn't really know how that would work. It could be one of the more interesting getaway vehicles for sure, having access to land and water, if that were the case. So it would be really nice if it were amphibious. Otherwise, it could very easily just be a ATV on the land for sure. And then going into the bottom right vehicle, not the like submarine or the weaponized dinghy, but it looks like a brand new like sports car in the game. And it's the lightest, it gives me some Deluxo vibes, but that already has like the best weaponry in the game and stuff. So I don't really know how they'd make it much different if it were like some sport car in the game that could go on water and stuff like that. So I feel it's just going to be some traditional sport car, which obviously there's not really much of a problem with that, but yeah. And going to vehicles again, on the top left, looks to be like the regular Sparrow in the game actually. So we're finally going to get like a non-weaponized Sparrow in the game, or one that's not able to land on the water at least, because it lacks the pontoons and doesn't seem to have like a weapon on it. Now I'm very curious how they're going to actually incentivize people to purchase the regular Sparrow over the Sea Sparrow. It's been years since we've had the like Sea Sparrow, so I don't know like who's going to actually really care to purchase that. Currently in the game though, the Sea Sparrow does not have countermeasures, so something they can definitely do to make that, to give an incentive to get that over the Sea Sparrow, could definitely be to give it the option for countermeasures like flares and shafts, obviously, because that's something that's completely gone on the Sea Sparrow for whatever reason. I'm pretty sure the regular Sparrow was last in like Vice City Stories. I think it's in San Andreas as well, of course. I believe in HD Universes and GTA Chinatown Wars has a like mission exclusive vehicle, so this won't be the first time that it's going to be appearing in HD Universe for the regular version of the Sparrow. But yeah, I think the biggest difference they should definitely make with it is add countermeasures to the regular version here. But I'd also like to see them added to the Sea Sparrow, the countermeasures as well. But yeah, hopefully there's quite the vast like increase in performance. I'd hope, at least for the regular Sparrow over the Sea Sparrow, since they're releasing the like civilian version so much later than the Sea Sparrow we already have. Because if they don't, I don't feel there's going to be very much incentive to even get the regular Sparrow in the game. And then finally, for new vehicles in the screenshot, there seems to be a new plane of some kind. Seems to be like a bomber plane, maybe. So it might be another plane that can have like maybe 100 bombs. Maybe more, similar to like the volatile in the game. However, it definitely seems like it would be much faster than the volatile and all. I know it looks a lot like the Nimbus, but from what I'm hearing, it's a whole entirely new plane. And I definitely think that's the case as well. And then below that, I see there's like parachutes and stuff. So I'm hoping we can enter that island with like parachuting as one of the options or whatever. Because I think currently that's the thing with the Diamond Casino Heist. However, yeah, with the Diamond Casino Heist, going by parachute from the air isn't really a good idea since you pretty much have to go under the casino. So if that is a like way to enter the island, hopefully it's at least a lot more useful than it is currently with the Diamond Casino Heist. I can easily see that being the case for sure. And finally, the person in the middle, I'm pretty sure is El Rubio, whatever. Because I think something in the trailer said like one man or something. And was describing that person, whatever. So yeah. That's pretty much the last of the bits of stuff I really can analyze from the image there. So now going into the Rockstar News Wire, which there's only like a couple things I really found that interesting. First thing I really found interesting with it is the paragraph that anything goes on Cayo Perico, a private paradise that's home to the infamous El Rubio, the world's prominent narco trafficker and supplier to the Madrazo family. So it seems in some way, shape, or form we're going to be going against the Madrazos with this heist. Not sure exactly why we would suddenly be turning against the Madrazos, since literally there was the dispatch services from 2018. But yeah, as we've seen with like Diamond Casino and Resort, they don't really care, it seems, about how like the story went. They still brought back like those Chinese people and all, which I know they're like optional kills, but it was still really weird and made the timeline even more wonky than it already was. So I don't know, I definitely feel it's gonna mess with the timeline even more. Now that we're gonna be going against the Madrazos or whatever it sounds like. It's kind of a shame because Martin Madrazo is one of my favorite characters in the entire game for sure. Just strictly talking about Grand Theft Auto 5 and on the line. So that's definitely unfortunate in my opinion. And I believe the only other thing I really found that like interesting is that it said to stay tuned for more info. Which yeah, after this released today on Tuesday, not Tuesday but Thursday, there was more like music information. Which I'm not really big going into music information and all, so I probably won't really be doing that much. Maybe only talk about some of it like in one other part of this video and be done with it. Onto the trailer analysis. Only including this part because I haven't really talked all that much about the music locker because there was like a newswire or whatever like a few days before this one came out, and then today or yesterday whenever, by the time this releases on the channel, of course, there was another thing talking about the free new radio stations and then how Worldwide FM and like Philo FM, those two stations are getting like new music tracks. And for like at first when those come out, apparently those are going to be the only tracks on those stations, and new ones for the two that are already in the game, and then the old ones will be phased back in eventually or whatever. But yeah, there's 3 new radio stations apparently that is going to be coming out for the update, and 2 of them are getting new tracks as well. However, those 2 are already in the game as mentioned before. And yeah, there's like 3 different DJs or something I think they mentioned. And yeah, we're getting drip-fed DJs again, similar to like the After Hours update. So those are just a couple of the bits or whatever that I felt were really all that worth it on those 2 news wires, whatever. And yeah, that's pretty much all I'm going to be mentioning on those. On to the next scene I found interesting from the trailer was this scene with like this new helicopter here that we'll be seeing more in detail later. Pretty much at the end of the video, I would say. of someone rappelling down from it. Sadly, I don't really see the ability to rappel being much of a thing. Maybe with the heist, if you like set up in a certain way or something, I don't know. However, obviously the police mavericks currently, there's like the news and all that go down the rappels that players can't really do. But there are very like particular kinds of helicopters I believe you can already rappel from, so I'm really hoping they do make that a really big thing with the helicopter. But yeah, has quite some stealth vibes, which again I'll probably be going into more later. That's kind of really the only interesting thing I found in this bit here. On to the next clip. It looks like the GTA Online character there is using a grappling hook there. Sadly, I don't really see it as being like an actual weapon you can use in free mode. I think similar to like thermite charges and other like heist exclusive gear like that, I think it's going to be purely for the heist, sadly. It would be really fucking cool actually, I feel, to be able to use it on like a helicopter and hijack it or something. That could make it the heist a lot more solo friendly, since after all it is a soloable heist. But again, it could have that functionality only for the heist. But it would be really cool in free mode as well for griefers and stuff, if they use something like a Savage and other like helicopters, and maybe some of the like huge bulky slow planes in the game maybe even. But yeah, sadly I really don't see that happening. Onto this clip here, it looks like a GTA Online protagonist is using a glass cutter to try stealing a thing of artwork here. And yeah, the artwork definitely seems like it's going to have a lot more variety this time around, I feel, compared to the Diamond Casino Heist. Because I believe currently they're pretty much all like picture frames and stuff like that currently. I don't think they're like actual like statues. I don't think there's really anything like that for the Diamond Casino Heist. So it definitely seems there's going to be a lot more detailed artworks and stuff like that this time around. I'm guessing this is kind of going to be like the main like vault area here or whatever for the island. I feel this would be like the main source of income and all for the heist, I feel, in this particular area. But yeah, as seen later on, I feel we're going to be able to kind of steal like multiple like different types of stuff as well. Onto this clip here, it looks like we're seeing what seems to be like a controllable missile from the submarine. From what I hear, this missile seems to be similar to like the Chernobog's missile, might even be like the exact same one. But yeah, it seems it's going to be a controllable missile, which could definitely be quite nice. Whether it's going to have like a very huge like free roam impact though, I really don't know, or if it's really going to be with the heist, but since I think the submarine would be like the hub for launching the Cayo Perico Heist, I definitely feel it would have some sort of usage in free mode. And yeah, hopefully this might be like as bad as it gets. If there's like a Orbital Cannon 2.0 on it, I definitely don't think it's going to be very good, no doubt. But I hope Rockstar learned from that like 2 to 3 years ago, no doubt. Onto this clip here, you can see there's the primary and then like secondary targets. Primary target pretty much being the Madrazo files, which proves in some way, shape, or form, of course, as mentioned on the newswire earlier, that Martin Madrazo is somehow tied to this. But yeah, the way it was said on the newswire gives me the impression that we're turning against Madrazo for whatever reason. I can only imagine why that would be the case. Again, it was like that single player heist for that involved like Martin Madrazo or something, if I recall hearing right. So it's not entirely out of the stretch of imagination, I suppose. And then yeah, secondary targets is way more, being like 2,846,000 or 8,800, whatever. One of those two prices, whatever. So yeah, it seems if you're gonna wanna maximize your take on this, of course, you're definitely gonna have to go way out your way for all the like secondary targets. So yeah, I feel like the artwork seen earlier would be one of the secondary targets. There's a thing of gold, I believe, that I'll be going over in a couple like clips from now. There's a small little thing of gold, which I don't know if it's gonna be like the daily vault version for the like Cayo Perico Heist, if it's gonna have like a daily vault as well, or if there's gonna be like all kinds of like gold cash and artwork scattered around. Yeah, it seems there might be at least like 4 different things of targets or whatever, one being the primary, and then I could see 3 of them obviously being all the different kinds of targets. And then on the left, maybe that's like all the different like prep missions and stuff. I'm definitely hoping it doesn't go back to like Doomsday Heist and the original heist where there's stuff that has to be done in like separate lobbies or whatever instead of like fully in free mode. Also, I really hope it stays in invite only, especially being a soloable heist. And if you can take all that money soloable, that would be really cool for sure. But will actually truly be soloable? Player-wise, surely yes. But crew members, there will probably still be obviously like crew members and stuff like that and all. Onto this clip here, we actually get a look at, I believe, the final new vehicle of the trailer and the image and all. Being this huge like patrol boat kind of thing or whatever. I don't entirely know what kind of boat this would be considered, but it seems to have some kind of like livery thingy on it. It has like the tooth kind of stuff that like the hunter and vehicles like that have already in the game. So I wonder if that hints at like boats being customizable with this update now. I don't know, all the space on this island here, if they make it in any way, shape, or form accessible in free mode, whether it's through like a loading screen or directly in the game, which I really don't see the latter happening, where they actually let you like travel to it. Like maybe you can travel to a certain point on the map, and then maybe it'll ask you if you want to go to the island or something. I don't want to see it being directly like connected in any way, shape, or form to the current map we have right now when the game can't even take like a not aircraft trailer, but the USS Lexington. It can't take the USS Lexington even on the base PS4 and Xbox One, even at least the base systems. So I definitely don't see the latter happening as I've explained previously. But honestly, I feel the most likely scenario is it's probably going to be like the blimp and like the bus with like all the music things on it. I feel it's going to be like those vehicles where when you buy on the website you get to choose delivery, and it's going to be like a Pegasus vehicle. So I feel it's most likely going to be like that. But who knows, with all the space they could have on the island, all the like empty space around it, they could find some way to implement like a way to customize boats and all there. That would be pretty cool. And then a lot of the different vehicles would finally be customizable in the game. Like we already have customizable planes, so the next logical step would clearly be watercrafts and all. So if that's definitely the case, it's gonna be one very huge update music-wise and customization-wise and pretty much everything even. Onto the next clip, it can be seen that there's a very small little area here that seems to be slightly gated with a thing of like gold. Seemed like it was a very small thing of gold if I remember, so it kind of gave me a vibe of like the daily vault kind of with the Diamond Casino Heist currently. So when there's small little like daily vault kind of things with that. And yeah, maybe the daily vaults on this area could be all different kinds of stuff instead of just purely cash, which I think it is currently for the Diamond Casino Heist. So yeah, and then also I think I was noticing that the character was picking up gold with like two hands and all, where I think currently, like in the Diamond Casino Heist, only with one hand with gold. So it seems they might vastly improve the rate in which gold can be picked up. I don't know if that's going to be like a general like change even with the Diamond Casino Heist, if that's going to just be a thing with the Cayo Perico Heist. But yeah, it seems picking up gold might be a tiny bit faster, because I think it might just be with one hand in the Cayo Perico Heist, unless like it's just a little like animation difference for the sakes of the trailer. I don't know. Onto the final thing from the trailer and this whole entire video that I wanted to talk about is another shot of like that marine helicopter from earlier that someone was rappelling down from. I'm pretty sure it's the exact same helicopter from that screenshot that I took there, of course. But yeah, as can be seen in this, it has like details saying it's like a marine helicopter. So I'm not entirely sure what that would be about, because it doesn't look all that amphibious. It's probably just like right on there for the sakes of the vehicle or whatever. Plus I'm sure there can be like vehicles for Marines that obviously don't have to like go on water and all. But yeah, kind of looks very similar to a Black Hawk, which I believe the Annihilator already kind of looks like. So it kind of seems very similar to like an Annihilator. But yeah, it doesn't really show any weaponry on here, so it's kind of interesting. And yeah, it's a pretty dark vehicle as well, so I wonder if that means it's going to be like some stealth aircraft similar to like the Aquila. But if it's going to be another like stealth aircraft like the Aquila, I don't feel like there's going to be too much of a point of having the vehicle if it's not going to have like any sort of weaponry. Then again, the Aquila is already a very damn good helicopter for general grinding in the game and all. So I don't really know how they could improve the Aquila much more than it already is necessarily. It'd be cool though if we just have like explosive cannons as an option or something, similar to like the old school Annihilator from the episodes of Liberty City or whatever. So yeah, I don't really see that being the case. I feel this might be like a non-weaponized helicopter even if you were to be able to customize it in a hangar or whatever. Otherwise, I feel they would have shown weaponry on it if it were weaponized. But anyways, that's finally going to be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed.